Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you. And can you believe it is already August 1st? So exciting how quickly time moves. And this is a really great time for us to check in and reflect back on our summer months and how are we showing up? Are we remembering to choose to move forward those things that matter most? Are we remembering to really take center stage, be willing to share our gifts, our talents with the world? Or perhaps we've gotten a little distracted. So this is an opportunity for us to come together and recenter and focus on those things that matter most. Because the choices that we make, how we choose to spend our time and our energy and how we're choosing to be and show up creates the life we live, creates our impact, creates what we're bringing forward, step by step, choice by choice, moment by moment. And I'm honored that you are choosing to spend this moment, this time with us. And my intention, our intention, is to pour into you, to support you, empower you, help you become and be that star that you are in your life, really stepping into your resilience, stepping into creating a toolbox that is so supportive and empowering for you that you're able to step forward and shine, share the gift of who you are out into the world. I know you're going to enjoy our amazing guests today. They are experts in that mindset to help you continue to move forward in powerful ways, help you bring your unique gifts and talents to the world and really shine, share them out. I want you to get the most out of our time together today, so I invite you to pause. Sometimes we can actually go faster, more effectively when we slow down a little bit and we let ourselves catch up with ourselves. We take a moment to breathe and pause and actually expand our lungs fully, take all of that air in, let it support every cell in our body and every part of who we are. Becoming fully present, choosing to tune in both what is going on inside of you, sometimes we're too busy to listen, as well as what we're going to be sharing and encouraging, empowering you with today. So as you tune in, taking those beautiful breaths, imagine that you're breathing in all this amazing, gorgeous support. See how that feels. And you're breathing out all that no longer serves, creating room and space for more. In fact, let's dial this up. Let's close our eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as you keep breathing, those beautiful, beautiful breaths in and out. What is it that you need today? Closing your eyes again, you're safe. Just listen to the beat of your heart. What is it you need today that you are willing to receive because you absolutely have choice? What is it that you need? Not how, what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Take that information in. Take another beautiful breath. Open your eyes, fully present, and move your shoulders around a little bit so you become fully back into your body. And take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's start to co-create it, bring it forward, get support around it. As I go around the virtual room, I will have each of our guests share just a moment, 15, 20 seconds, something that was laid on their heart to share with you today. Stacy, I'd love to start with you.
Yeah, I think grace is something that we all need and often are not giving ourselves. And skip over that part somehow.
So good. We're frequently able to give it to others and forget ourselves. So really
Definitely
important reminder. Thank you. I appreciate that. Janet, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Oh, I liked what she said. I would say you're still here on the planet. There's a reason for that. And it's okay to take one step at a time as you go forward, and let the universe encourage you to do what makes your heart sing.
I like that. There's a reason and a purpose. Beautiful. And that we can take it one step at a time. How beautiful is that? Thank you.
Yes.
Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your mind, on your heart, on your spirit when you stopped to pause and listen? See how this reminder to give grace to yourself too, others and yourself, that the reminder there's a reason, a purpose you're here, and that you can take it one step at a time. See how that folds into what you are hearing and feeling. I encourage you as we go to our first commercial break to stay present. Resist that urge to multitask. Stay present and really listen to what's speaking to your heart and spirit. Have that pen ready to capture things as they bubble up, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to just be, breathe, listen, and receive. We have those moments built in throughout the show to support, encourage, and empower you. I encourage you to use those moments, those mini breaks, as an opportunity to process, integrate, breathe in what serves, and release what no longer does. That way, by the end of the show, you don't just have a list of things that someday you're going to do. You're actually starting to integrate all of this insight into your life. It's starting to become part of you. So use those 2-minute moments. They're very, very powerful. Well, welcome back. Excited to continue our conversation here. And it is my pleasure to introduce our first guest, Stacy Ingram. She is a dedicated mental toughness coach specializing in empowering young athletes and performers to overcome barriers that can hinder their game. She also coaches parents and business leaders in peak performance, change management, and leadership. She has specialized training in mindset coaching, positive psychology, NLP, and positive intelligence, as well as hypnotherapy. She's absolutely passionate about helping you have tools and resilience to claim and step into your success. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, inspiring, and exciting Stacy Ingram. Welcome.
Yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome. So excited to have you joining us today. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work that you do around this mental toughness? Why is that personally so important to you?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of reasons, but mentoring, teenage kids, and to be honest, you find the same traits often in adults, is that we weren't taught some of these skills. And so sometimes we run into trauma or major events in our life, and we don't really know how to handle them. We don't really know how to deal with stress and things like that. And it's super important for me to give those tools. And with the kids especially, these days they're under so much pressure with all their AP classes, social media, everything that's coming at them. They really need someone else in their corner besides their parents.
Thank you for sharing. And absolutely, I think we all need help in these areas, and especially our the young people in our lives. But I agree, it's not something we are necessarily taught. It's like we kind of learn, discover, bump along. So I love that you have stepped into this space to really support and help so many. Now, one of the things that I think can be unique about athletes and performers is they have these really visible high-stake moments that they're facing. And sometimes we have those moments in our lives as well. Is there guidance or something that you work with them to prepare mentally for those types of moments that we can also apply to our life?
Yes, definitely. I mean, obviously there's lots of different tools, but on a more simplistic basis right now, we often work on controlling what you can control. We sometimes worry so much about other things that we can't influence. And so working on that piece as well as focusing on our attitude, our effort, and our preparation versus everyone else. And so turning that focus back within so that we can learn how to be powerful on our own.
And kind of releasing what we cannot control, because you're right, we spend a lot of energy on that and it doesn't shift those things we can't control versus really putting the energy on what we can do and back on ourselves and that support. I love that. Now, one of the tools I know that you talk about and use ties into visualization. Do you mind sharing what is visualization for those who that's a new concept for, and how can that help us? Does that help us achieve goals?
Yes, it does. And I think a lot of people discount visualization mostly because they don't understand the power of it or quite how to do it. And really, it's about visualizing something happening, whether it's in your career, whether it's an athlete in a game or a meet, doing what they do. There's a lot of studies that really show if you're doing visualization correctly, it has almost the same impact as if you were doing it physically. And it really matters how you do it. So about 10 to 15 minutes typically is the time frame, multiple times a week, and to really include the senses. So when you're imagining yourself doing something or kind of seeing that in your mind's eye, being very, very detailed in what do I smell, what do I see, what do I hear, what am I feeling, and what am I doing physically. All of those things are important. And what we're really doing is we're building new neural pathways in our brain. So we're using neuroplasticity to help us get somewhere. And that's sort of the reason visualization works, is we're training our brain in that way to move us forward sort of on the subconscious level as well.
I love that. That's I appreciate that explanation. I knew it was a great thing, but it's good to know what's actually going on in our brain and some of that how it works. And a thought I had is the opposite could be the case too. So if we worry and we visualize all the things we don't want to have happen and we're worried about, can that kind of have the opposite effect?
It can. I mean, I think that really plays into self-talk is one area that it can be really detrimental because while positive self-talk does build good neural pathways, negative self-talk does the same thing. And obviously we're trying to erase those and move ourselves forward and not get stuck and mired in that space. But you're right. The more we dwell on something and the more energy we put towards it, the more we get more of that. And so we just have to sort of be careful on what we're inviting into our life in that way.
Thank you. I love that. And I just think that's an important reminder because we want to really spend the energy and build the neural pathways that are bringing forward what we want, not the other. Let's harness that energy for good because it's powerful.
Exactly.
And there's emotions attached to it, all those good things, but we really want to use that to create what we want to create. So thank you. I appreciate you sharing a little bit more about that. So I'm also curious because we hear a lot about goals and setting goals, and is that important? And how does that tie into our mental toughness and resilience?
Setting goals is very important. And, where that fits is it helps us to feel like we're moving forward. It helps give us some achievement. We almost need to kind of chunk our goals into different pieces because sometimes we have a goal that's way, out there. Like in the sports realm, I have an athlete that wants to be an MLB player. Well, if he just says, I want to be an MLB player from now until he gets to that age, it will not happen. And so it's sort of how you back into your goals and you make sure that you're setting checkpoints all along the way. So you sort of have mini goals that lead up to something bigger. And that you're using sort of that SMART goal methodology. And if for those that haven't heard of it before, it just means your goal should be really specific. It should have a measurable aspect to it. It should be achievable, a stretch but achievable. And then, relevant, meaning it should be realistic resource that you can provide or get the resources you need, and be results-based. And then the T portion is just time-bound. So giving yourself a time frame for each of these mini goals so that they don't just linger and we don't just keep pushing them back. And, whether this person ends up being an MLB player or not, that's clearly a very big goal. In the end, while that would be great for him, even if he doesn't, he will have learned so much along the way about himself, about how to accomplish things, about how to actually move himself forward for the things that he wants in his life.
Mm. Well, I love that. And I love this reminder about, setting the goals and having small steps to get there, indicators, not just the big overall goal, but breaking it down into pieces so that we're able to see progress and know that we're moving in the right direction. And all the learnings along the way is very important too. So thank you for sharing about that. And I'm curious, how does that help us with our mental toughness and resilience, having goals set up that way and time bound and all the great tips that you shared?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of us face difficulties in our life, and some are bigger than others, clearly. But it's not a matter of if we will have times we fail, it's a matter of when. And
nice,
so
yes.
Being mentally tough is really not about avoiding challenges and failures. It's more about how we handle them when we do. And goal setting can be part of that process, but also it's sort of a combination of self-confidence, getting the right social support, us being adaptable, purposeful in what we're doing, and goals really play into a lot of those pieces. It really allows us to have new direction if we do have a setback and be able to get ourselves a little bit back on track, because we do often need to readjust. We go one direction and it's like, that's not right. Sometimes we have to back up and readjust.
Well, and I appreciate your clarification, not if, when, because we will all reach and have these setbacks and need to recalibrate and navigate. I don't know anything that just always everything falls into place. There are challenges and setbacks and things that do come. And so I'm curious, how do we overcome those? So we know they're coming. It's not an if. How can we set ourselves up for success in the sense that we know how to handle and overcome a setback?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going back to some of the mental tools that you have. So, for example, to control what you can control, being able to sort of pick apart what happened. Was this something I could have done this for, made a different choice, made a different decision, put myself in a different location? What could I have done differently so that setback either didn't happen or wasn't possibly as severe? And sometimes there are things that come in our life that, we couldn't control any piece of it. And so then it's more about recovery and being able to use some of these mental skills to recover. And we teach everything from mindfulness to focus to concentration to being able to have the right self-talk to get through things, and how to also seek support when we need it and be able to give ourselves, like I mentioned earlier, that grace that, we all fall at some point, and whether it was our doing or someone else's, making sure that we have the right tools to pick ourselves up, because at some point in our life, we can either choose to take the next step or we can choose to wallow where we are. But it's always sort of up to you. So you can decide if you're going to stay in that place or you're going to move yourself forward. And, that sounds easy, but sometimes it isn't. So we have to force ourselves to choose differently.
But I also love that reminder that we do have choice, because I think sometimes we can believe we don't, and we do, and we get to choose. We can choose not to wallow. We can choose to, or put a boundary around the wallowing. If we need to wallow a little bit, we can, but not stay stuck there.
We need a little bit.
Sometimes, yeah. But then being willing to take a breath and, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What are my choices? And be willing to take those steps. So Thank you, Stacy. I really appreciate your insight and perspective and some of the great tools you've even shared with us today that we can start to put into our toolbox and consider as we are setting our goals and visualizing and looking to bring forward those things that matter most to us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, I invite you to take those 2 minutes for you. Really think about what is it that you do want to visualize, you do want to bring forward. How can you perhaps set some goals around that? And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click Register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and had an opportunity to get excited and write down some of those things that you are wanting to bring forward. You're wanting to spend time visualizing and bringing into your life. One of the things we've been talking about is building your toolbox. And I have an exciting tool that I wanted to share with you today that puts you in control. It puts you in that center stage of your life around your finances. It's called Bank on Yourself. Are you being misled? Wall Street insists the only way to have enough money to retire is to put your life savings into a 401k or an IRA and roll the dice with it in the Wall Street casino. But if that were true, why do studies show the average American who follows that advice will outlive their savings by a staggering 10 years? It's time to get the truth and discover a better way to grow and protect your money. Bank on Yourself is the proven retirement plan alternative banks and Wall Street are desperately hoping you never hear about. It gives you guaranteed predictable growth and retirement income. With Bank on Yourself, your plan doesn't go backwards when the markets tumble. Your principal and growth are locked in. Built-in inflation protection. Your money is guaranteed to grow by a larger dollar amount every single year in good times and bad. And peace of mind. You'll know the minimum guaranteed value of your retirement savings on the day you plan to tap into them and at every point along the way. Learn the secret to safely and predictably grow your wealth every single year. Enjoy tax-free retirement income and gain control of your money. Just go to bankonyourself.com/empowering and we'll send you a free report about the retirement plan alternative that lets you bypass banks and Wall Street and take back control of your financial future. That's bankonyourself.com/empowering for your free report. bankonyourself.com/empowering. I love to bring forward opportunities where you can learn more and really find those tools that are most powerfully supportive of you. So I encourage you to check out Bank on Yourself. I hope you find that report informative and supportive of you and your journey. We have been talking about really being that star in your own life, and Stacy shared a lot of tips on bringing your goals forward and tapping into your resilience and overcoming setbacks. And I'm excited to bring forward our next guest. I know you're going to be inspired by her heart, her spirit, and how she shines out so beautifully, supporting and helping so many women around the world. And in addition, it's her birthday too. So you heard it here. We get to celebrate with her as well. So it's my honor to introduce Janet Cheney, who is a #1 international best-selling author, a speaker, a John Maxwell certified coach, life coach, a survivor of divorce, loss of a child, psychological trauma, and domestic violence. She has a deep passion for helping women change their lives and volunteers to encourage and educate women to overcome trauma and really step into the life they love. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and birthday girl, Janet Cheney, to the show. Welcome! Oh, you're so welcome, and how special that we get to spend your birthday with you. So I'm happy and honored. I'm thrilled. And I wanted to start with why this work, because sometimes, when we have overcome trauma and some of those things that you have gone through, we don't always want to look back or revisit. And instead, you've used this as a powerful platform to heal and now reach out and help so many. So why is this work important to you? Why have you made that decision to help women in this way?
Well, I have met my life coaching experience who didn't have a clue where to start and were just really stuck with their emotional, their traumatic backgrounds, always having the mistakes of the mind, talking to them about how they made these mistakes and they weren't good enough and all of those kinds of things. And I had some of that myself for a long time, but a benevolent universe, I'll say, brought me people that taught me how to get unstuck, develop some life tools that I could use when, those nagging tapes that I came away from my life with, how to shut those down, how to go forward, like Stacy has described. How do you do that when you're coming out of a traumatic, abusive background? You need some courage to do that. And not beat yourself up when you fall down. I mean, there were all these tools that I needed to learn, and I did. And I just wanted to.
I love that, and I appreciate your willingness to pass on the wisdom learned so that we can all be enriched. And one of the ways that you have, I would say, enriched and empowered, that you have chosen to do this is a book that you have brought forward. So I'd love for you to share why a book, and can you share a little bit about your book, the #1 international bestseller, So Many Freakin' Secrets?
Yeah, thank you. I love to talk about that. It started out as a very small project, just to memoir for my sons. Most of us know that, except for our very close friends, our family really don't know us, especially if you have that title of mother. And so I was encouraged by my husband, who was a retired English professor, to get on with it and get the book done. I had written the same 50 pages over and over again. So he said, get somebody to help you to get it done. And it just grew into this project. And I didn't feel like I'm not a celebrity, who's going to read my book, yada, yada kind of thing. The person who was helping me said, gosh, do you think there's anybody out there that's had similar problems to yours? Yes, then maybe how you got through those things would be helpful. So that motivated me to keep going.
So powerful, and you're right. We can sometimes forget that what we've discovered can serve and help so many people. I love that you leaned in, and it has. I mean, your book released very quickly became a #1 international bestseller. It best-selling status in 4 countries: U.S., Canada, Spain, Australia. 53 best-selling categories, 12 of them ranking #1. Congratulations on your powerful success. And that was just at the start, just the beginning of the book being released out into the world. So to me, that really is a testament to how many people do need what you're bringing forward and are being impacted. And it will continue as it ripples forward. And I'm curious about going through this process, writing a book that's been received in such a way. How has this impacted you emotionally and spiritually?
Well, gosh, there's so many. I learned how to change my perspective about myself. That was probably the biggest thing. To realize that I'm not the sum of my mistakes, that my mistakes are just part of my journey. The problems that I had didn't necessarily have to define who I am. So I could have the courage to take the trauma, make it into a journey, not just the destination, and that it's okay to take one step at a time. And even if it's 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, I'm still going forward. The main thing is to not give up, to give yourself grace when you fall down, because that's part of the deal. You will fall down. And, to say, feel the fear and do it anyway, how do you do that? So I had to learn how to say, okay, today I will do one little step. And as you build on each step, you get more and more strong and more resilient and more capable of pursuing a life that you've dreamed of having, even if it just means being at peace with yourself.
Well, and I thank you for sharing. And I really was struck by your not being defined by the mistakes or the things that are maybe not your shining moments, that those don't define you. They're just part of the journey, and that you get to really own what does define you and what you're bringing forward. I think that's a really important message for us all. So thank you for sharing and your insights and how it's impacted you. And I'm curious also, as it's gone out into the world, do you have a favorite moment on how your book and your story, because you're very transparent in your journey and your story and what you have in those pages. What is there a favorite moment as you just stop and kind of think about the journey so far?
There's so many. I think when I got through actually a real solid first chapter that I could be proud of, that I had worked on quite a long time. It was a back and forth process, and when I got through with that, I just had this real sense of physical, emotional excitement, like a roller coaster, and you're going down that big hill. It was like, oh my gosh, I can write on the page in a way that somebody may be moved by or want to turn the page. That was so exciting.
I love that. I love that. And your book is it is engaging, and you just keep flipping to the next page, and you're on this journey. And I will say that in reading your book, I felt like I got to know you personally in so many ways. And that was a gift to get to know you and your journey and how you choose to look at things with all that you've gone through is very impactful. So thank you for leaning in and bringing your book forward and sharing it with the world. And I was going to ask you earlier, the plan was to ask you about being a summer star in your life. How are you doing that? But instead, I want to ask, how are you celebrating your birthday, whether it's today or this week, and really taking a moment to celebrate and honor the gift of who you are to all of us?
Well, I did start a journal on my book journey. Things that have been said to me, people have shared their reviews of my book. I have a dear friend that I've known since the 70s who was one of my first beta readers who gave me a 6 out of 10 on my book, which just crushed me because she's got a master's in social work. And I said, oh, great. But once I got the book finished and redone and tightened up and that kind of thing, she wrote me again and said, oh my gosh, this is a whole different book. And I was so moved by it, and I took notes, and I can't believe I have a friend who's an author. And that just made me cry. I just when you touch people on an intimate level like that, you just feel like, okay, I could die and go to heaven now. It's the quote from C.S. Lewis that says, it's never too late to make dreams become a reality.
I love it.
Too old. You're never too old to set a new dream, a new dream. So
beautiful. So it sounds like in your celebrating today, you're reflecting back on the journey and some of those really special moments and drinking them in. I love that. I do that a lot on my birthday as well. I will pause and kind of reflect and spend some time appreciating and looking ahead. Like I get reflective around my birthdays. So it sounds like you do as well. Well, I just wish you a very, very happy birthday. Again, honored that you have chosen to spend some of your precious and special birthday with us. And I hope you just continue to celebrate throughout the week and throughout the month. And we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about what Janet has shared and how it's never too late to make those dreams come true and to take those steps, that we always have an opportunity to start bringing those things forward. We'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and had an opportunity to really think about and drink in some of what Janet has shared with us. And I also think a great extra credit bonus activity that we could step into is we don't just have to wait till our birthdays to celebrate the amazing gift of who we are. And so wouldn't it be beautiful to take a moment today and just celebrate something wonderful about yourself that you appreciate, and perhaps reach out to someone and share something wonderful about them, because sometimes we don't know the gift that we are to others. And that's just a beautiful way to keep sharing that light. So I hope that you lean into the extra credit bonus opportunity challenge and activity to really share, celebrate, and uplift. Now, one of the things I love to do is give you an opportunity to connect and go deeper with our amazing guests. That's part of the reason I carve out a special time towards the end of the show. I want you to be able to write down their contact information, to sincerely connect in, and to have the kind of access to them that I have. So here's your opportunity. Have that paper and pen ready. They are sincere about you connecting, reaching, and building a connection with them. So, Stacy, I'd love to start with you. What is the best way for people to connect in and go deeper?
Yes, email is probably the best way, and it's just STACY at cultivatingyourcourage.net. And my website is similar. It's just cultivatingyourcourage.net. And those are really the two best ways. I'm also on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. But email is sometimes the quickest way. And I do have an anxiety journal that I'm happy to send out to anyone who's interested. Just send me a quick email with the word anxiety, and I'll get it back to you.
Oh, wonderful. I love journaling, and what a great gift to have support around anxiety and shifting that around. So thank you so much, Stacy, for sharing, joining us today, and providing such a valuable resource to our listeners. I appreciate it. And Janet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And Janet, I'd love for you to share what is the best way for people to connect, go deeper, have the title of your book again, where they can get it, all of those things I'd love for you to share with our listeners.
Well, like Stacy, I would say email is the best for me also. And that's J, B as in boy, ER, N as in Nancy, ICE, 60 at Gmail. That's jbernice60 at Gmail. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. I have a website called healingyoursecrets.com, and my book is available on Amazon. So Many Freaking Secrets. links. There are Kindle links. There are paperback and hardback copies. And I do have some free Kindle links if somebody would like to read that. That way they can get a hold of me, and I'll send them a link.
Beautiful. Thank you. Do you mind giving your website one more time and your email address one more time? Just want to make sure everybody's got that written down.
Sure. Yeah, so it's JB as in boy, ER, N as in Nancy, ICE, 60 at gmail.com, jbernice60 at gmail.com. My website is healingyoursecrets.com. I also have Facebook, and I have 2 Facebooks. Let's see. My other one is Healing Your Secrets Coaching.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. I'm excited about your book, all its beautiful formats, and I know an Audible's in the works, so that's exciting, and will be coming out in time for the holidays, which is beautiful. And thank you. Just thank you for leaning in and sharing some of your birthday with us and letting us celebrate with you, and for the beautiful work that you are sharing and bringing to the world.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Very grateful, and I know the world's a better place for both you and Stacy leaning in and being willing to share the gift of who you are with them and with our listeners and with the world, and trusting them with it. And listeners, guess what? The same is true for you. You are a gift for such a time as this. There's no one else in the world exactly like you that has come through what you have come through and learned what you have learned. And the biggest gift I believe you can give the world is being willing to share more of you with it. So that activity of celebrating something wonderful about you today, and then picking up that phone or texting or somehow reaching out to someone and letting them know something wonderful about them too. Let's pay that forward. Let's remind each other of our brilliance. Let us shine the gift of who we are out into the world and inspire and empower others to do the same. We can light up the world heart by heart, life by life, by being willing to lean in and share the gift of who you are, and then passing that on, helping others see the gift of who they are. So as you go back into the day, take a couple moments for you to really sink into the messages that are speaking to your heart. Then choose, be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.